Thanks for listening to the Believe You Me podcast, which is brought to you by manscaped.com, the very best in below the belt grooming.
Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the fuck up.
And new undisputed UFC Middleweight Champion of the world, Michael the Count Bisping.
This is Believe You Me on the Gas Digital Network.
Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Sorry, just having a pre-podcast. Do you ever find yourself having a pre-podcast?
I do that. Well, let me fix this. Here we go. So we look like we're the same height. There we go. Sometimes when I'm working the desk, like you're there all day, and it's like sometimes the fights just aren't the best in the world, and they're not always as exciting, or maybe there's one good one or something. Sometimes, like right before we go on the desk, I go, "Oh!" and you gotta get all pumped up, and it's like, "Oh!" Then when I sit down, and then I'm all super hyped because I brought my blood pressure up a little bit. Never had to do it with the podcast, though. We have a lot of fun here.
Yeah. No, we do have a lot of fun. And my apologies, everyone. We are a little bit late, as you all know. I am here in Bulgaria officially. That's why, I don't know, hopefully I don't look too bad. I don't look too bright or whatever, but I'm jet lagged like a son of a bitch. I haven't had a good night's sleep. Well, I left on Wednesday. I haven't slept properly since Wednesday. I'm dying, and I've just been doing 12-hour days on set. On set. I know I sound like a right wanker when I say that, but it's true. Coming at you live and direct from Bulgaria. I'm assuming, Mr. Smith, you've never been to Bulgaria.
No, never been to Bulgaria. What's Bulgaria like?
Do you know what? I'll be honest. I haven't seen too much of it. So far, seems really good.
Really?
The people are lovely. The people are really, really nice.
How's the food?
Pardon me?
How's the food?
It's good. I mean, I haven't had any Bulgarian dishes yet. I will try that, but it's just, I've been having a lot of westernized food, Italian and stuff like that. There's a Mediterranean restaurant downstairs. I went down before. I got chicken and the Greek salad. I said, can I get some pita bread? He said, we are not in Cyprus. I'm like, yeah, I know. I get pita breads with my fucking Mediterranean food all over the world. It's kind of a staple. You don't have to be in Cyprus. Do they do Mediterranean food in Nebraska?
Oh, yeah. Do
you get a pita bread with it?
No. I've only had it a couple times. It's not like a staple that I go to. But
come on, Anthony. It's some Mediterranean food. It's nice and healthy.
You know me. Nebraska's fuck. It's like Bush Light, steak and potatoes. I felt fancy. I had Italian food yesterday. But what
did you get?
As redneck as it's just really good. Ham, bacon, mac and cheese, with an Italian sauce. It's really good.
See, that's not That's not Italian food, though, is it? Let's be honest.
Not really. It's a really nice Italian restaurant, but it's good.
It's pasta, but it's the kind of Americanized. But again, it sounds absolutely bloody delicious. Considering that you're a bit laid up at the moment, well, a lot laid up. Are you just saying, screw it, I'll eat whatever I want, or are you, still trying to maintain some kind of discipline?
No, I'm on that seafood diet. I see food and I fucking eat it. And that's all I've been doing. Yeah, and I've been enjoying it. I smoked 4 racks of ribs all the way until 3:00 in the morning, so we could eat them today. And I cannot wait for dinner time. I'm so
you smoke ribs. Is that on obviously it's a smoker, right? Like a Traeger grill?
Yeah, it's a Traeger. Yeah, it's a Traeger. I've
heard about these. The guy that used to come around to my house and do some mobility on me, he was trying to you would think he had stocks in Traeger grills. He just would not shut the fuck up talking about. I'm like, bro, I've got a barbecue. I've got a grill all built in. I don't need a smoker. But the more people talk about it, I feel like I need to take the plunge.
I love it. It's just a different flavor. It's a little bit different twist on your stuff. And you can cook regular shit on it. You can grill steaks on it as well. But I don't use mine as much as I used to. But I like it. I used to do the gas fed wood smokers where you actually have to get the wood chips or the wood chunks and get the water but it's just it's such a pain in the ass. You have to watch it constantly, and you're constantly fucking with the dampers and the temperature. It's really nice just to turn the dial, set it, and it goes.
Yeah, yeah. When you said gas fed, I'm thinking, does he mean grass fed? But he's from Nebraska, so he's saying gas fed.
No, it's like the propane, bro. Propane.
No, I know. How's the leg? How's it going?
It's going good. I got my stitches out. What was that, last Tuesday? And then I don't know if we talked about this in the last one, but they fucking tricked me and casted it when they like. I thought I was just going to be wrapped up and I just wouldn't walk on it and I'd be fine and crutch around and be able to take a regular goddamn shower like a normal person and sleep without having something on my leg at night. So they tricked me and casted it. And then I had to travel to Salt Lake City. So I took a friend. ESPN hooked me up. I took a friend with me so they could just help me roll my bags and
gonna get that +1. See, what you guys don't know is beforehand, that off stage, off the podcast, Anthony's like, oh yeah, here he is, fucking movie star Mike. Yeah, this way you get paid the big bucks. I'm not the one going around with a fucking baggage handler, someone carrying my bags, Anthony.
I can't got a choice, or else it's easier for them just to have someone come with me than them schedule someone helping me constantly. So it's really them. No, I made it and I'm fucking done.
Even Brian in the chat there says that you're a fancy man now. You're a fancy man.
Fancy.
Salt Lake City, you were there. Obviously, we're going to get into all that massive storylines to talk about. Leon Edwards becoming the champion. Congratulations off the bat. How was the event as a whole?
As a whole, I was really impressed with Salt Lake City. I bet it was 2/3 full by the first fight.
Oh wow.
The arena, yeah. Which I guess for those listening that've never been to a live UFC event, the first 2, 3, 4 fights, you might have 100 people in the building. Like it's not very many people. They're very, very empty. Even the big pay-per-views. So it was very energetic. It was. And they were cheering for people. There was a kid that made his debut that was from Mexico City versus a Portuguese or a Brazilian. Neither one of them, I don't believe, spoke very good English. Both debuters, crowd went absolutely goddamn crazy. Like it was like that for every fight. Like it felt like almost like a very Asian crowd, like in the Pride events and the Ryzen events where they just cheer and go crazy for everybody because they're just fans of the sport. That's how it felt. So it was really, really good energy.
I guess that's because it's not a frequent destination for the UFC. I know they've been there before. Right. I forget when that was. It was a long time ago, though. So they're excited for it. Same in London just recently. The first one in March, and then they had the one in July again. First fight of the night, packed out. Because if people don't know, like if you don't go to the events regularly, like me and you very luckily get to do so. Like you go to Vegas, they're fucking spoiled in Vegas. You know what I mean? Sometimes the arena doesn't get like fully packed until like the co-main event. It's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, I think you're right. They're just so spoiled that there's so many opportunities to go to events. They're like, well, if I don't really care that much about the early fights, I'll just go for the ones I care about. There'll be another one in a couple weeks. So I was really impressed with Salt Lake City. It's a really pretty place.
I've got some questions for you about Salt Lake City in a minute.
Yeah, go ahead.
When I was fighting, Callum, as he was getting older, he always wanted to be there for like the first prelim and whatnot because he grew. He still is a very passionate MMA fan. But Rebecca, for a couple of reasons. One, she couldn't deal with the nerves. She was always super nervous. I'm not sure how your wife is. So she wanted to get there as late as possible. So there was always this power struggle with Callum. He was like bitching like crazy, like, Mom, come on. And a couple of times he went by himself to like the early prelims and whilst I was in the locker room and whatnot getting ready, or he went with his granddad and stuff like that. Let me ask you, how's your wife? Does she like to get there nice and early, or does she is she a bit more like mine?
No, she's like yours. Typically she goes to the arena with me. She doesn't want to be there any earlier than I have to be there, and that's probably still too early for her. I think if she could sit down right before the fight started, and I think that's how she would do it. Because watching the other fights, you see 2-3 guys get their head kicked in, right before your husband's about to walk in there. I'm sure that's. I think the potential consequences are shown right in front of you right before your husband goes in there. So like,
Oh yeah.
well, fuck, that could be him. What if he gets head kicked, or what if he catches an overhand or gets choked unconscious? Like, just seeing it before, like the possible outcomes before, I think is what stresses them out.
Yeah. No, I was talking about this recently. Like, when you're backstage, because you got to share a locker room with a few different fighters, you're there, you're waiting to go out, you hear the crowd. Back in the day, you had Burt Watson, we're rolling, and that just adds to the nerves and the anxiety. People are coming into your room, they've just been knocked out, they've got the nose splattered halfway across the face, and you're like, fuck me.
Yeah,
Why
get
do
this
I do
guy
this?
out of here?
Did you ever ask yourself, because I used to almost every time, or if I didn't say it out loud, I definitely would enter my mind and think, why the fuck do I do this again? But then you go out there, you have a great fight, and you can't wait to do it all over again.
Yeah. I was telling this story. It's funny you asked that. I was talking about this last night with a buddy. He came over and just had a couple beers in the driveway. I don't remember how we got talking about it, but I said it's the weirdest thing because I'm never afraid. It's like I could give a
Yeah.
shit less. I could give a shit less what this guy's gonna do.
Never
Like,
afraid.
never. I'm never afraid. It's not even nerves about the actual fight or the skills. I'm not afraid of being punched or any of that stuff. But I have found myself a couple times, well, more than a couple times, right before the fight starts, or right before you walk, or right around that time, and you look across and you're like, why do I do this? Like,
Yeah.
like I don't know you. Like, I don't have any issue with you. Like, why am I doing this? It doesn't make any sense. And then once you're in there, it's just a athletic competition. So like all the other stuff goes away. But it's usually the morning. That's when it hits me the most. When I wake
Oh.
up, like the day of the fight. Once we get to the arena and I get in the zone and you get your hands wrapped, you start warming up, that all kind of goes away. But a few times I've had it in the octagon, but every time it's when I wake up in the hotel. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't like, I did all the work and I made weight. And then like, I just rather go hang out. Like, this is kind of a cool city. like
Yeah.
there's other shit I'd rather
There's
do
so
right
much
now.
to do here in Salt Lake City or Utah or Detroit or wherever the fuck you may be.
Yeah.
But you're right. We're not scared. And I think I speak on behalf of everyone that fights professionally. We choose to do this. We spar 3 times a week. It's not the fear of getting punched or kicked in the face. For me, and I don't know about you, for me, it was more a case of the pressure. It's come down to this moment. I've given up 2-3 months of my life. If it's a really big fight, like a title fight, it's like your entire life has come down to this moment. If you're playing football or whatever, you have a bad game. 2-3 days later, you get to go again and make up for it. So in fighting, it's not the fear of the physicality. It's not the getting kicked in the leg or maybe getting cracked in the face. It's for me, it was always the pressure of winning and losing.
It's like the outcome.
that would get to me.
Like the outcome is what
Yeah.
is what I find like I mean, I think it's just that simple. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. Like, in our sport, I think is different. Like, most of the time, the better football team wins. Most of the time, the better basketball team wins. In MMA, it's a fucking crapshoot. Sometimes you can do everything right and still lose.
Yeah. That's what every one of my opponents that said to me every time I won. I remember Gegard Mousasi said that to me after I knocked out Rockhold. Because what was it now? I forget. We were on Fox Sports, and I said, "Well, no, not all the time. The better fighter wins, Gegard." And he says, "Yeah, I know, Michael. Look at you and Rockhold." I was like, "You fucking son of a bitch! You're not supposed to use that back on me and throw it in my face." Shout out Gegard Mousasi, by the way. Before we get into the MMA stuff and whatnot, what's going on in your life other than hobbling around with your fancy bloody assistants and baggage handlers and then TV shows and analysts and ESPN? Anything else?
That's about it. No,
It's a tough life.
I got a bunch of contractors in my house again. My wife is doing more upgrades, so now we're doing the kids have their own little bathroom, so completely redoing the bathroom. So they tore that out yesterday or the day before, and now they're here doing the tile and all that stuff right now. And I'm investing in my career and my time here on the Believe You Me podcast. So we start tearing out my bar downstairs. I have a bar in the basement, and so we're gonna tear that out and change that and put it on a different wall. And then we're gonna build my office, which is kind of what I've been, where I do it here now. It's actually in my bedroom. So I got
I thought that. Yeah, we've never had this conversation, but I always kind of like thought to myself, I wonder if that's his bedroom. Yeah, that's what I
It
thought. I don't
is.
know why I can't see a bed, but it just for some reason I
Yeah.
thought a bed. Yeah.
Well, just the way my house is kind of put together, I have this huge bedroom. It's the entire width of the house. So, like on one side is like the typical normal size bedroom where all of our bedroom shit is. And over here we have like a couch and my desk and the big screen
Yeah.
and like that's where we kind of hang out at. So I just do it for my desk and my kind of little makeshift office. But because I'm investing and I care, we're taking all this shit out of my bedroom and we're building like an office podcasting area downstairs in my basement.
Look at this. Professional studio. Anthony Smith going
I'm
up in
gonna
the
try.
the contractors, let me ask you, is it all going to plan or is it one of those? Because like every time I have people at my house to do work, it starts off with one thing, then it becomes another. Like I had the house all painted last year. And I don't know if we talked about this, but then like, they found a bunch of termite damage. So then we needed a bunch of woodwork and then the fucking balcony outside needed all replacing. It just turned into like 4 months of very, very, very expensive work. So far, how's it all going? Going to plan or are they trying to pull your pants down?
No, it's going well. It's going really well. She went actually my wife went to school and knows like the guy that's been doing our bathrooms and redoing them. He's really fucking cool, dude. So usually it's her though that's doing that. So like they started with like tore out the the old shower and tub and all the flooring and all that shit. So then she's like, "Huh, we have this huge mirror on the wall," and she's like, "Oh, I think we need to get rid of that mirror." So then now they're pulling the mirror, so they got to hang another mirror, and then it's painting, replacing cabinets, which wasn't the plan initially because those were new, and now she wants
Yeah,
different
but then the paint color won't match. That won't go with it. So then
So now we got to paint. Now we got to paint the whole. So now we got to paint the entire room.
Then don't match the new paint. Maybe the carpet doesn't go in.
Yeah, so that's how it goes. Like she's the one who ends up adding shit on. Love her to death, but it's a wise man told me one time, you can either be happy in your marriage or you can be right, but you can't be both. No. So I choose to be happy and just let her.
I try both. I try both. I'll be honest.
Does it work?
Some of the time, yeah. And, I put my foot down. I mean, she puts her foot down as well, but we don't argue over stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? But we have the only time it turned into an argument once was when we did have it in 2016. We had the entire house like totally gutted and done up how we wanted it done. We moved in 2011, 2016. I won the belt, I had some extra dough. Do you know what I mean? And gutted the entire thing and lived in it at the same time, which was stressful as fuck. And then like, and Rebecca still brings this up. She still brings this up sometimes when we were picking out like the taps. You guys call them faucets, right? For the the bathrooms, the taps. Yeah. She wanted these like fancier ones, and then I was like. Apparently I flipped out and I was like, what the fuck? I said, listen, they're fucking taps, okay? We are spending a goddamn fortune. This is getting out of control. Yeah, she never lets me forget it. She always says, you were an asshole about those fucking taps. I'm like, surely I wasn't that bad. Let me ask you, have you ever seen the movie Red Sonja from the 80s, a classic, Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Mike, you know I ain't seen that movie.
You've seen no movies?
None. I did watch a movie for the first time in a long time the other day, though. I watched the new Predator movie. It's called Prey.
Right.
It's on Hulu. Really good fucking movie.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, super gory. Lots of like fight scenes with the Predator. Really good.
I like the original Predator.
So do I.
Come on, kill me. What are you waiting for? Yeah, Arnold's the man. Well, Arnold. So that's what I'm doing here in Bulgaria. It's a remake of a movie from the 80s called Red Sonja, which had Arnold Schwarzenegger and Bridget Nielsen in it. There it is. There's that's the original artwork. So yeah, out here in Bulgaria, it is a beautiful place. The countryside is amazing because today we were shooting up in the mountains. Oh my God. Just absolutely stunning. I mean, I'm sure there's lots of parts of America like it, but just thick forest, beautiful countryside, beautiful lakes. Yeah, pretty stunning place. So it's going well. A lot of hard work. Great cast. Everyone's very, very friendly and nice. So
anyone like super recognizable on the cast?
Yeah, there's no A-listers, but there's some very, very good talent. There's one.
What do you
one
mean?
guy-
There's a Michael Bisping on the couch.
Mike, you want to see my
behave
baby?
yourself. No, pardon me.
You want to see my baby?
I want to see
Yeah.
your baby. Yeah.
Give me that thing. You don't want to say hi? Hi. She said hi. Look at this thing.
Oh my God.
Look at this thing. Can you say hi?
Who's this?
This is Alani. Hey, hold on. Here we go. You're
Hi,
all tied up.
Lonnie. Hi.
You say-
Yeah. Babies do that every time.
Grab
Whatever
the
it is,
microphone.
it
right in
goes
her
in the mouth.
Yeah.
Anything.
Hey,
that's how they feel,
hold
don't
on.
they?
Hold on a second. All right. Well, now you've made your. Where are you going?
Oh,
now you made
look
your
at my little thing.
podcasting debut.
Well, she knows what to do, though.
Good job.
Good job.
All right. Hey,
Oh, yeah, there it is.
You're stealing the show. You're stealing the show.
Yeah.
There we
Oh, how old is she?
How old is she? 10 months. That's what I was gonna say, but I didn't want to be wrong while my wife was standing right here.
How old is she?
10 months.
10 months.
10
10
months.
months. Wow.
10 months.
And that's 4, right?
So fat. This thing is huge.
I mean, I didn't want to say anything. You might want to get her on a diet, Anthony.
She's like 25 pounds.
Wow.
It's a big baby. Yeah. Mike
What
said we
was
should
she
get her on a diet.
When she was born, what did she weigh? And we're losing the believers now.
We are losing the believers.
We're
What did she weigh
loving
when she was
fathers.
born?
They're like, we don't give a fuck about your babies.
Yeah, she was an average sized baby. It's like 7'10".
I was fucking 10 pounds, 8 ounces when
10
I was
pounds.
born. Wild. That's
Wow.
what it says on my birth certificate.
Yeah. My daughter was 9 pounds 8 ounces. She was a fat little bitch.
That's
as
a big baby. That's a big baby too.
Shouts out Ellie, who, by the way, also is in this movie as well. So the director very, very kindly offered her a role. So that's amazing. Anyway, enough of that. Enough
Enough of this baby thing. Now we're all soft and talking.
I
about
know,
kids.
exactly.
We're
Let's talk
badasses.
about some real macho stuff.
Yeah,
you know
some
what I
real
mean?
man shit.
Massive 180. All right, real quick, I want to tell you about FitBod. Listen, a lot of the time you go to the gym, you don't know what you're doing, or you're bored. You're doing the same thing over and over again. And the gains, the results, they've slowed down, they've stopped. That is where FitBody comes in. It is a smart workout app which creates a custom dynamic program based on your goals, experience, and equipment. The algorithm uses data and analytics to build your best next workout and maximize results. Every workout is scientifically proven to be better than the last. FitBod tracks your recovery and varies up your routines to avoid overtraining, and you get to see your muscle usage, recovery, achievements, and workout streaks right there in the app. Also, the app, very, very easy to use. And it's not just like pictures. It has HD high definition video tutorials so you can learn the new exercises. It's very, very simple. You can fully understand them. Basically, this is a personal trainer customized to your exact requirements, wants, needs, goals in an app. Okay, no need to spend a fortune. No need to get a second job to try and get in shape. All you need to do is try the FitBod app. Okay, crush your summer goals. Get personalized workouts from the FitBod that improve. The workouts improve as you get better, as you lose weight, as you get stronger, fitter, all the rest of it. It can track that, so it ups the workouts. It changes them. It gets them better. It gets you better. And you can get 25% off your subscription, or you can try out the app for free when you sign up right now at fitbod.me/believe. That is 25% off your subscription, or you just get to try it for free. Try it for free at fitbod.me/believe. What more do you want? You can try it for free. fitbod.me/believe. UFC 278 at Salt Lake City, as we talked about. Oh, real quick, Salt Lake City. I've only ever been there once. I had a connecting flight from somewhere. I was working for the UFC. I was flying back. Connected in Salt Lake City. My flight was delayed, so I missed my connecting flight. And I had to stay over in some random hotel in Salt Lake City for the night. And I got there and I thought, oh, this looks kind of cool. I went for a walk. And I went into a restaurant and I tried to order a drink, an alcoholic drink with my food. And they wouldn't serve me. They said, no, not all the restaurants here serve alcohol. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. That is, I think Utah's just kind of a weird kind of state in general.
Is it like a religion thing?
I think so. I think it has something to do with that. I think they have some weird laws too. Like Nebraska had a weird one for a while too, but you couldn't buy hard alcohol in certain places. Like you could only buy beer, and the beer was like a certain percentage of alcohol. It was weird. There was a couple.
Oh, yeah. No. To be fair, I think that's what it was. I think I was trying to order like a vodka or something. Like, no, we only have beer and wine or something.
Yeah, so they got some funky rules there. After the event, by the time we got out of there, it's 12:30, and we, you know how it is afterwards. Like, man, let's just get a drink and sit down and relax, because it's hard when you're on these events, and especially like the one we just, you got the Rockhold Costa fight, and then right into the fucking main event. So you're already hyped up and super amped. So it takes you a while to come down and relax. So it was like me, Anik, and Buffer, and a couple other people were like trying to find somewhere to have a drink, and like they were like 12:45. They stopped letting people in. Like we couldn't even sit anywhere and relax and have a drink. It was weird.
We weren't going to mention this because, well, we talked about it off air before we started. We weren't going to mention it. We just mentioned John Anik there. We're just going to throw Harrington under a bus. So, Brian, explain. Obviously, Harrington's not here. We're doing it on a Tuesday instead of a Monday, and Harrington can't make it. So, shout out Mike Harrington. Hope you're well, buddy. But still, we're going to talk about you on the show. He was trying to instigate some shit. Like there was a fucking Anik Florian podcast beef with Believe You Me. And he told me, I'm like, no, that is not the fact. But Brian, give us a bit of a bit of background.
Well, Mike's been a little on the defensive these days because of Ariel the other week.
Okay, before you explain, was Ariel taking a shot at us, like just being funny?
Who knows? That's what it seems like.
What have I missed? What are we talking about?
You've been in Bulgaria, Mike. Hold on, I'm pulling it up on Twitter.
Well, Ariel tweeted something, or no, Ariel was on his show, and a bunch of people actually tagged me in this clip, and they said like shots fired, because I think they thought Ariel was talking about us too.
Who's they?
Saying, like just the Believers and Harrington. They thought that he was saying, Ariel said something along the lines of, we get right to the hardcore business here. We get right to the fight talk. There's so much banter, and it's just 30 to 40 minutes of banter. I don't want to hear that. I just want to get straight to the fight talk. And I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's right, Ariel. Because no one gives a fuck about what you've got to say. We do it in a very entertaining way that may be pleasurable to the eardrums.
I think people love it. But I don't even know if Ariel was talking about us. He might have.
I doubt it. I like it.
No, I love it. We all get along great with Ariel.
Oh, we got clips.
Podcast. And I get excited when they come on my feed. I watch a lot of shows, but sometimes there's like 20, 30, 40 minutes of just banter. No, we get right into it. All right. We're not wasting any time. We are not wasting any time today because it's a massive jam-packed day and we have a lot to get to. I listen to.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I don't feel like the shots fired there.
I don't either. But Harrington definitely did. And so he went on the defensive.
Weird.
And then
So Brian, what's going on with the Anik Florian? Because John Anik, obviously colleague of both of us, fucking legend of a guy. Kenny Florian, I'm not sure if you worked with him at Fox or pre.
I did once, yeah.
Kenny is just one of the best guys you'll ever meet. He really is. And then when I heard you talking about it, Brian, I'm like, what? Hold on a minute. We're not going to war with the Anik Florian podcast. I love those guys.
Well, here is what Mike perceived as a shot at Believe You Me. So it says, so they had the same issue that we had when we run long and late, which is YouTube doesn't get its shit together on time for us to make our stream time. So it came in low quality for their premiere. And they just said a cloth from which other pods are not cut. Now, me personally, that can't be talking about us because we do the same thing that they do. If it's we'd rather get it up than have it not come out.
Right. Well, and that's the tagline that John Anik just happened to say right before Leon Edwards head kicked Kamaru Usman.
And that's exactly what I said to Brian right before you joined, before we went live. That's what I said to Brian. I said, no, hold on a minute. He literally said words to that effect right before Leon got the knockout blow. So I just think that was like a nice
just
little catchy tweet.
Oh, you see that? Cheeky.
Well,
Look
A
at
little
me.
cheeky one.
Little cheeky.
in response here, Mike Harrington started throwing shots over at the producer for the Anakin Florian podcast.
Saying, what does it say? Honestly, I've got it really small. I can't see
he
it.
said, "Come fight me at Skankfest."
Oh my God. Oh, he's an embarrassment. What
Oh,
an embarrassment. Right, we need to punish Harrington for it. He's starting beef on behalf of our name, Anthony, our good names in the MMA world. You know what I mean? With respect to people like Eddie and Annie.
I talked to I had a glass of wine with John after the fights, and when he was getting ready to go back to his hotel, I said, "Hey, I'm gonna get a hold of you on like Monday or something. Maybe you could come on just for like 10 minutes and just tell us like what you were thinking before you made the call." And just because he was right there, you know what I mean? And like just to get his like quick, even if it was 10 minutes, just get his quick thoughts on it. He was like, "Fuck yeah, just get a hold of me." But then, just with your travel and being super jet lagged and all that stuff, I never even brought it up to you. But like John was totally wanting to come on.
100%. He's been on before and we will get him on again. He's great. I love the guy. And that seems like the perfect way to segue, even though Ariel doesn't like it. What is that? 20 something minutes. Tough fucking shit. We're having a catch up. We're explaining. We're just being real people. Wow. Stunning outcome. We'll start with the main event. Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman. I'll be honest, obviously out here in Bulgaria, they don't show it. I was asking everyone, I said, is there any bars or anything like that show it? They were like, no. I went on ESPN Plus. I was using a VPN trying to find it. I was trying to do everything I could to try and watch it here in the middle of the night. Couldn't do it. And I just thought to myself, well, I've got no choice. I'll have to go to bed. And then in the morning, I'll find it on like a site. I'll be able to find it somewhere online. So that's what I did. So I watched it, and it sucks because it takes the fucking excitement out of it because, of course, by this point I'd already seen some tweets and I'm a part of some group chats and whatnot, do you know what I mean, which I looked at, so I already knew that Leon had got the job done. He did it. He had a great opening round, he surprised him with that takedown. He got the mount, and then rounds 2, 3, 4 Kamaru completely took over. But from your perspective there in the arena, how did you see it, Anthony?
So I probably have a little bit different of an opinion of that first round. Obviously, dominated that round. Got a takedown, first legitimate takedown, at least one that the stats counters are going to count. Ended up mounted, took his back, and just kind of stayed there the whole time.
Right. But took the bag of the body triangle, correct?
Yeah. See, I thought that was going to hurt him more than it was going to help him if he couldn't get a finish, because he's a striker. Like, I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. Like, I could spend an entire 25 minutes on somebody's back in the body triangle, and it's not going to affect me at all. But when you're not typically a grappler or a wrestler, as soon as you get that takedown, a guy like Kamaru Usman is going to freak the fuck out. So it was everything he could do to hold him down anyways. And then to take his back, have to hold the body triangle. He's constantly going back and forth trying to get the finish. I'm not saying don't get the finish, but as hard as he worked at it, I think maybe he said his body wasn't responding. And you know how it is sometimes, and maybe, people that don't fight or never been an athlete don't understand this, but the announcements and them, like your walkout, the announcements in a main event, they call the sponsors, they do all the lights. It takes a while. So it does, even if you're warm as shit in the back, by the time you actually come to the center and the referee says, "Are you ready? Are you ready?" and you fight, it's been a while. So you're kind of cooled off a little bit already. The worst thing for your cardio is to be cool and then go from 0 to 100, because then you just feel super gassed, like you didn't have like a ramp up process to that. So for that to happen right away, I think that's probably a good part of the reason why he keeps saying his body wasn't responding the way he wanted it to. I think he just gassed himself, and it took him 2, 3, and 4 to get to his like second wind. And then he was controlled. I don't want to say he was dominated, but he was controlled. He looked kind of flat, and he wasn't able to shift it into that next gear and really turn it up a little bit. And Usman did a really good job of mixing in the takedowns better than he has done in a long time. I think part of it is because he was with Colby Covington, and you can mix in the takedowns all you want. Even if you shoot, you're going to work just as hard as he is. So there's no real benefit there, I think. So the up and down game, I think, really helped him out. Lots of feints, lots of fake shots. I think he did a fantastic job there. I think Leon was masterful in setting up the head kick, and it's actually a little frustrating that I think so many people aren't giving him the credit for it. It's just, oh yeah, it was a great head kick. He threw even Daniel was like, oh, he threw the 2 and then the head kick. Like,
let's have a look.
Here it comes. There it is. 2 head kicks.
Yeah.
So Brian, go back just a little bit if you could. Right there. Okay. So at the 2-minute mark, left in the round, Leon Edwards was going like feinting the 2 and then throwing the inside leg kick. Every single time Kamaru Usman was parrying and then like taking that other hand and sweeping the leg in front of him. So he did it like twice back to back. And one time that's when he hit him with that low blow. He kind of kicked him in the balls. But he had done that 3 or 4 other times through the fight where he's parrying the jab on one side and then sweeping the leg by in front of him. So I remember looking at Ray and saying, like, he's setting up the head kick because Kamaru was doing the same thing every time. Like he conditioned him to parry the jab, sweep the leg, parry the jab, sweep the leg. And he parried the jab, which put his hand on the other side of his face, and then went to sweep the leg. And that's why he got kicked in the face with his hands crossed in front of him. He essentially opened a window for the kick to go right through. I just want Leon to at least get the credit for keeping that head kick pocketed for most of the fight until it was the right moment. I think.
Well, it's one of his best attacks. In fact, he did that against Bilal Muhammad, but unfortunately, it resulted in an eye poke. It was the exact same attack. Leon was talking about it at the post-fight press conference. Yeah, I thought he had a great opening round. To your point, I thought 2, 3, 4. Kamaru showed, what makes him a great champion. He did mix things up very, very well. I thought he was doing a lot of great damage against the fence and just upstairs, downstairs, going up. He'd defend the strikes. He'd go with the combinations, working the body, grab the legs, and just rinse and repeat, and that was kind of like, the path to victory for Kamaru Usman. Leon did a good job, but when he was getting taken down, getting back to his feet. And as you say, in the 5th round, it wasn't just a fluke. He wasn't just throwing a head kick. He set it up masterfully. And I think, given what Kamaru did there and the way that he defended it, that is the difference between, a world-class striker, and with respect to Kamaru, I am not in any way talking shit, a guy that's added on striking to his wrestling ability. You are still going to get caught in those kind of tricks, you know what I mean? And parrying shots that aren't there. No, don't get me wrong, they're traps. Traps are designed for everyone. It doesn't matter how good you are. You know what I mean? It can still work. You know what I mean? But Leon, that's his bread and butter. That's what he does. He's masterful in there with the strikes, and what a fucking shot. Do you know what I thought was really cool? That when he went down and he was clearly not getting back up, because Leon got there in time to land a couple more shots. And he didn't. He pulled himself away. He ran up. He leaned over him. He thought about it. Thought, nah, it's not required. It's not essential. I've done this. I've got it in the bag. So I thought that was very, very classy.
Yeah, I thought so too. But you know what I mean? You land one of those real clean shots, when you go and they're done dealing. To be honest with you, I've never done that. I would have followed him down for sure. But it's not so much that I'm trying to just put another shot on somebody. Mine is panic.
You want to make sure it's fucking done.
I'm not walking off and then you get back up and then I just fuck myself. Mine is panic. Like, I need to hurry up and get him finished before the referee, so the referee steps in before something else happens. So it's never that I'm trying to be a dickhead. How about that post-fight speech though? I don't think I've ever, that his post-fight interview with Joe, I don't think I've ever felt so emotional, like watching. I think I'm like deep down, maybe I'm from the UK.
Bro, you are.
I'm telling you, I think I am, because now
they're gonna do your what is it, 93 meal, was it ancestry DNA or whatever? He comes out. You're from Birmingham, bro.
I think I am.
You're just gonna talk like this, Anthony. Anthony, try and do a Birmingham accent. Just talk like this, mate.
Is that a Birmingham accent?
Yeah, mate. That's how they talk.
No,
they talk
I can't
like
do it.
this.
I can't.
Just give it a fucking go, mate.
I'm not fucking doing it.
Oh, that would be legendary getting you doing a Birmingham accent.
I'm so bad at it. But I feel like connected to like your journey and Leon's. Like, I want those two moments so fucking bad that I was just I was so hype, and like just listening to him scream like look at me now over and over and over in the arena was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
crazy.
no,
I've never seen a crowd go crazy like that for so long. And normally people win and you start seeing, 50% of the crowd leaves.
Yeah,
Like everybody fucking
certainly with the
stayed.
main event, they're out the door.
Everybody stayed. Everybody fucking stayed. And like he just went off on the microphone. It was crazy.
Oh, wow. It's amazing. I'll be honest, because I watched it on one of those crappy sites. The post-fight interview wasn't on there. I wish I'd have seen it now, and I wish I'd have seen it live.
All
right, real quick, I want to tell you about LMNT, LMNT. LMNT is the drink that you need. It is the electrolyte drink that you need. It's going to give you all the hydration that you require, but none of the nonsense. It's going to give you all the salt, but it's not going to give you the sugar. Okay, it's not going to give you the carbs. It's not going to make you fat. It contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio with 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. More importantly, it hasn't got the junk. Okay, no sugar, no coloring, no artificial ingredients, no gluten, no fillers, no absolute bullshit. Listen, you got to keep your electrolytes in check. It will affect your energy levels. It will give you headaches. It will make you sleepless. It will just generally have you feeling a little bit run down. That's why you got to take it in, the electrolytes, but you don't want to take in all the sugars. The reality is a lot of these drinks, sports drinks, you look at the back of them, oh my God, the amount of calories that you're ingesting and the amount of sugar that you're ingesting is off the fucking charts. It is. It's wild. That's why LMNT is so good, because it allows you to have a delicious drink, get all electrolyted, get all hydrated, but you're not taking on unnecessary calories. That's the big one. Okay, so right now, LMNT is offering all of the believers a free sample pack with any purchase. That is 8 single-serving packets free with any LMNT order. Is a great way to try all 8 flavors or share LMNT with a salty friend. Get yours at Drink LMNT. drinklmnt.com/believe. This deal is only available through that link. You must go to drinklmnt.com/believe. And listen, it's totally risk-free. If you don't like it, share it with a salty friend. They'll give you your money back. No questions asked. You have nothing to lose.
He did say something that bothered me in his post-fight, like the media scrum or whatever. He had said they were talking about him being the second champion from the UK and behind you. And then he said something along the lines of, well, Michael definitely did, but he did it while living in America, like almost dismissing the fact that you won a title as a guy from the UK, but it doesn't count because you were living in America when it happened. So like he was almost saying like he's the real first one from the UK, which I don't think is fair. I don't think that's I don't know. It bothered me, to be honest with you. And I don't know if he meant it to come off that way, but it bothered me for sure.
Well, thank you. No, I saw an article on MMA Junkie. I was just, in between takes shooting this Hollywood movie, don't you know? And just scrolling Facebook, and I saw it there, and it just kind of made me roll my eyes. I mean, listen, I'm not going to sit here and shit on what he did at the weekend at all. I'm so happy for him. Leon's a great guy, and I've been a massive cheerleader for his career for a long time. But I saw that, and I just I rolled my eyes a little bit. I don't really understand it, if I'm quite frank. I don't have an issue with it, but it's just, it's not.
When did you move to America?
I moved to let's start like this. I signed with the UFC in 2005. I moved to the UFC to America at the end of 2011. And I won the belt in 2016. But I was the first UFC guy to win the Ultimate Fighter. British guy to win the Ultimate Fighter. First British guy to main event. First British guy to win the belt. First British guy in the Hall of Fame. And I have a fucking British passport. And I did it all whilst living in the UK, and then moved there because I saw him say that, oh yeah, I had to move to America. I had no fucking team. The team that I was with were all crooks, and they were stealing my money, and we ended up going to a massive lawsuit, and there was threats made. It was all very, very, very messy. So at that time, I just said, right, fuck this. I'm done. And I had a fight coming up, and I had no team, and I had no camp, and I had people that I knew because I'd done training camps out in the States. I was like, all right, well, fuck it, let's go out there. And the plan wasn't to stay there, but we went out there and did some camps, some training camps, and the kids ended up in school and all the rest of it. And now here we are 10 years later, still there. So I'm still very much fucking English, and I've got a British passport. So sorry, that one's not valid. But we'll leave that one there because I don't want to take away from his big moment. I don't want
No,
to.
no.
I
And,
certainly do
and
not
maybe
want
it
to rain
just,
on his.
yeah, maybe it came off weird, but it was
No, he's not the
because
first one to say
it reminded me of Connor. It reminded me of Connor.
Paddy Pimblett said it as well. Paddy Pimblett said it a long time ago. So then I had him on the show when he first came on, and just I was joking. I just pulled his leg about it. I said, "Hey, Paddy, I've been meaning to pick a bone to pick with you," and I mentioned it there. And he goes, "I knew this was going to come up, lads. Fucking hell, mate. Yeah, no, I said that ages ago. But yeah, no, it's all good, mate. It's all good. It's set in stone. Sorry, it's gone. It's gone. There can only be one. I am the Highlander. You can all go fuck yourselves. I wish you all the best. I always wanted more champs, and there will be. I think Aspinall's still going to be a champ. I think Arnold Allen's got a great chance. I think that Darren Till, people roll their eyes when I say it. Darren Till's
still got it.
He's still there. He's still right there. Still right there. He is. So congrats, Leon. I could not
Anthony
be happier
Smith.
for you.
Anthony Smith.
Oh, bro, you're an honorary Brit now.
I am.
You're an honorary Brit. Next time,
I wear the
we've
UK
got to
shorts.
do some live podcasts in the UK.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Dude.
That'd be so fun.
They'll love it, and they'll go crazy for you. They'll say, yeah, Bisping, you're not even from England. You're American.
But Anthony, he's from the UK.
He's from the UK.
I'm gonna change. You know, you can pick when you like what country you want to represent. I'm telling you, I'm changing my shorts.
You're walking out with the British flag.
Fuck yeah. Let's go.
Or the Jamaican flag. Isn't Leon from Jamaica? Anyway,
that's where he was born, right?
We'll leave that one there.
Yeah, we're getting in trouble for that.
No, hey, proud of him. I'm so proud, and certainly to do it against Kamaru Usman, and I think that's probably partly why the crowd was going so crazy, because Kamaru has grown into such a superstar within the sport. There's lots of stars and all the rest of it, but Kamaru does have a special shine. He's got massive recognition. He's defended about 6 times, 7 times, something like that.
That was going to be 6.
Yeah, it was going to be 6. Okay. Yeah. So, an incredible victory. And to finish it the way he did, one head kick, just fucking stunning, beautiful.
It might be the most historical head kick in MMA history.
Have you ever done that? Because I've never done it in a fight, but I've one kick knocked out 3 or 4 people in sparring, and it feels fucking good.
I did it once as an amateur, very similar to Leon's, just nasty left head kick. And then I head kicked Andrew Sanchez, but I followed him down, so I finished it with shots, but he was already out. But it was a pretty nasty one too.
I did it when I was training for GSP. I had 2 head kick knockouts, left high kick. One was, what was he called? He's a Bellator fighter. I forget his name. Good wrestler, heavy hands. We brought him in. Fuck, I forgot his name. And another one, I shouldn't say, but fuck it, I will. Patrick Cummins. I slapped him with the head kick as well. Sorry, Pat. So you shouldn't talk about this stuff, but you said your one, so I'm like, fuck it, let me brag as well. Yeah. Congrats, Leon. What do you think happens next? Do you think it's going to be an immediate rematch? I would assume so, given the fact that Kamaru is so established as a champ.
Mm-hmm. And in the UK. I think that's what happens. I think it happens in the UK. I
saw Dana say Wembley Stadium, something like that. I mean, that would just... Well, and that's what they did for me. Because it's weird, because when that American won the belt over Luke Rockhold, for some reason they said, we've got to bring the next fight back to the UK. Right. And I defended the belt. My next fight was against Henderson at UFC 204 in the middle of the fucking night. And before you all start, it's because there was a storyline. Henderson had knocked me out. Henderson knocked out Hector Lombard on the same fight. All the pieces fell into place. Wasn't my choice. I never picked him. Dana and Lorenzo called me Monday morning. I'm still hungover. They called me to say congratulations, and said, yeah, we're thinking you versus Henderson. It just makes perfect sense. You want to do it in the UK? He said Manchester, London, or Wales, the Millennium Stadium. I said it's got to be fucking Manchester. So yeah, that's what they'll do, and that'll be amazing for British fans and for the sport. I mean, fuck me, 3 times in a year. Come on, Smith, we're going.
We gotta go. Especially in
live shows. We're doing live shows. We're touring.
We have to. That would be fucking huge. Huge.
We're doing it.
How fucking cool for fucking Leon Edwards. And how awful for Kamaru Usman to be one fight away from tying Anderson Silva. You're trying to establish yourself as the greatest welterweight of all time. You're trying to do all these things. You're unbeatable. You're the pound for pound GOAT. And then like what people are going to remember about you, not me, but like the general public, like you were like Saturday morning, he woke up one fight away from tying Anderson Silva for most consecutive wins. He went to bed
No, but
Saturday
hold on.
night
I'm
as a
sorry to
fucking
interrupt.
as a meme.
I have to stop you there. And only this is not a negative on Kamaru Usman. I'm a huge fan of the guy. And I'm a huge fan of him, not only in the octagon, but as a person. He's a class act, man. I like him a lot. I really do. But I saw all this narrative that, he's going to tie Anderson's record and all the rest. Anderson did that in title fights, not just consecutive wins. I think he had 11 title fights or something crazy like that.
Which is crazy.
I think that holds more weight than just
because he
wins.
was in a title fight in his second UFC fight.
Chris Lieben, Rich Franklin took the belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
it's a different streak. I wish you would have reminded me of that.
Do you know what I mean? That's a little different. To do it in fucking title fights, I'm sorry, it doesn't hold the same gravitas. I
agree. I definitely agree. But that was still the narrative and probably how Usman feels. And then he goes to bed Saturday night and he's a meme, like eyes wide open, unconscious, stiff. Like it makes me kind of sad for him. Like, because whether it was as important as Anderson's run, 15 straight fights in the UFC without a loss is hard to do. I mean, look how many people have done it, not a lot. So it sucks because he put in so much work and now, it's how the world is, people will shit on you when you lose.
Well, sadly, it is. It's certainly the sport of mixed martial arts is what have you done for me lately? And I always say, you're only as good as your last fight, sadly, and you're right. The masses, the very, very casual fans, there'll be a lot of people that might have been there Saturday night. There was the first UFC event. Maybe didn't know much about Kamaru Usman. You know what I mean? And then they just think of him the guy that lost in the main event, which isn't fair. So that's going to be, Leon's going to have to be ready, for the rematch because Leon's going to come hard. And I'm not saying that he underestimated him. There's no way. Kamaru's not that type of guy. He's not going to underestimate Leon. He knows the threats that he possesses. I saw that Leon was saying that if Diaz beats Hamzat, then he'd be up for letting him skip the line and then fight for the belt. Of course, Leon's going to say that because who doesn't want to do that against Nate Diaz and get those pay-per-view dollars? Two things. One, I think after Hamzat, he's out the door. I don't mean out the door, but he's not going to be with the UFC anymore. He's parting ways. Two, I don't think he beats Hamzat, let's be honest. And three, Kamaru's going to get the immediate rematch.
Right. Which would be, but goddamn, wouldn't that be cool though to get some Nate Diaz pay-per-view points?
Oh yeah.
God damn. Plus, he's already beat him.
Hey.
And he's not beating Chimaev. It's just, I love Nate Diaz.
Did, but let's just play with this. If he did beat Chimaev, because listen, let's be honest, he's only human. He's only human, right? And Nate Diaz is tough as fuck. I would put a large amount of money on Hamzat to beat him, right? I am utterly confident, but it's not beyond the realms of possibility. If Diaz pulled it off, let's just say he catches in a triangle or something like that, then, because I don't know what Diaz thinks, he's going to go off and fight Jake Paul, he's going to go box for this guy, he's going to do bare knuckle boxing, God knows what his plan is, right? It's probably Jake Paul. The UFC might turn around and say, title fight, Leon Edwards, are you sure you want to go and fight somewhere else?
I bet he would stay.
I bet he'd stay.
Because I think he really knows. He, like, in his mind, he knows he can beat Leon Edwards.
Well,
especially after hurting him.
He clocked Leon in the 5th round.
Yeah,
big time.
Him hurt bad. Yeah, had him hurt bad.
And isn't this crazy? Because you had people like Dan Hardy when the fight was first made saying Hamzat versus Nate Diaz is someone's going to end up on assault charges because this is ridiculous. The whole MMA journalists and all the websites came out and condemned the fight, that it was just, too brutal and too much of a beatdown. But we're now showing a way that perhaps, well, Leon, he can fight Leon for the belt because Leon cracked him in the 5th round. Sorry, Diaz cracks Leon in the 5th round. And that's fine. He's the champion of the world. He just beat Kamaru Usman, the pound-for-pound guy. Why wasn't that fight a robbery? I just don't understand.
Right. I don't like the matchmaking either, though. I don't like the Nate Diaz fight because it is a high likelihood that Chimaev buzzsaws right through Nate Diaz. But it is not impossible. It is not impossible that Nate Diaz, Hamza gets a little complacent, shoots in on a lazy double, and Nate snatches his fucking neck up. It is totally possible.
Totally possible, 100%. Brian, what were you putting in there? As I was trying to look at the notes, I have a ring light on my monitor of my screen. That's why my light's a little bit funky, but you know what I mean. And in the chat, it's blocking it.
Oh, sorry, I was just clearing up. Anderson Silva had 13 title fights in the UFC, including the rematch with Chris Weidman.
Wow. 13. That's insane. That's why I loved that guy so much. And that's why I was such a fan. And that's why I wanted to fight him so badly. What a legend. All right, real quick. Truebill.com, they will cancel all of your unwanted subscriptions. You know the type of thing. You get an offer, you get an email, you see an app, you download an app, you buy it, or you subscribe to something. It's only a few bucks a month. You forget about it. Or even when you do remember about it, you try and cancel it, and it's not that easy. You got to call up the bank. You got to go into the bank. You got to jump through so many goddamn hurdles that, again, you just forget about it. Truebill is the new app now that will help you identify and stop paying for the subscriptions that you don't need, you don't want, or, as I say, you might have just forgotten about. On average, people are saving $720 a year with Truebill because companies, as I said, they make it hard to cancel. Truebill makes it incredibly simple. Just link all your accounts. Truebill will cancel all of your unwanted subscriptions in just one tap. And your Truebill concierge is there when you need them to cancel the unwanted subscriptions so you don't have to. Look, listen. Come on, you all know what I'm talking about. Every single one of you listening to this right now have signed up for something that you don't use, you don't need, you don't want, and it's just a ball ache. It's a pain in the ass to cancel. So don't fall for the subscription scams anymore. Start canceling today at truebill.com/believe. Go right now to truebill.com/believe. It could save you thousands a year, like Matthew B, who said in a matter of seconds. I saved $660 for the year on DirecTV, $120 on SiriusXM, and $840 on his car insurance. That could be you. Go to truebill.com/believe. Start saving. I didn't see the footage, but I did see in the notes. I think Harrington put it in there. Somebody said, I forget who it was. Oh, it was Rashad Evans when Kamaru got knocked out. He said it was horrifying because Kamaru's daughter was there and apparently she was screaming her head off or something. Did you hear about this?
Yeah. You know, I keep seeing people online are saying things like, well, why would he bring her? And that's why guys shouldn't bring their kids. Like, I totally disagree. My kids have been to my fights before. They don't go to every single one, but they've been to my fights. They watch every single one. I've never hidden what I do for my children. They're allowed to watch MMA. It's just like, it's what I do to keep a fucking roof over their head and give them everything they could ever want. Like, if it's good enough to do that, then I shouldn't hide it, you know. But I do know that Mike Bond, a guy from MMA Junkie, had tweeted something that he just seen Kamaru Usman's daughter being carried off the floor, you know, bawling her eyes out, which is okay. Like, it's okay to be upset and sad when your dad loses. But, you know, like when I fought Glover and he fucking knocked my teeth out and broke my orbital bone, eyes were swole shut, I was bleeding all over the place. I feel like that was a great opportunity to show my kids, like, what you can come back from and what people are capable of. You know, I can come back home and say, listen, like, this is life. Like, sometimes you can do all the right things and shit goes wrong, and nothing ever goes as planned. And sometimes you get your fucking ass kicked and you got to pick yourself back up and you got to do it again. If Kamaru Usman is a fourth of the dad that I believe he is, he'll use this as a perfect opportunity to prove a point to her and say, you can be on top of the world and you can lose at any point in time, and you got to go back, you got to fucking fix the mistakes and fucking do it again. So I see a lot of people are sad about it. I'm okay with it because that's life. That's how it goes.
Yeah. And
Shit
the way
happens.
you put that there, I don't see how anyone can argue with that. Now, I guess the only argument would be, well, is that the video there?
Yeah,
I mean, listen, of course, you know, no little girl wants to see his dad flatline like that. It's always going to be traumatic. You know, it's always going to be awful. Now, I guess anyone arguing with that would say, well, he brought her other times when he did it to another person, because people might say, well, it's the violence in general. So what? So it's okay. So for her to see her dad do it. Now, I don't want to sit here and talk too much about Kamaru's daughter and his parenting skills, because I'm sure he's a sensational father, and there's the love of his life and what fuels him in training camps and what will fuel him to go back and try and reclaim his title. That is why we all do it. I'm sure it's the reason for you, partly because it's kind of in our DNA. It's who we are. But also it's because it's because of them. We want to be great, and life is tough. Life's all about taking risks, putting yourself out there and trying to and challenging yourself more than anything, and trying to make something, trying to turn your life around, trying to get on top, trying to give the best life possible. And you are dealt a certain hand in life, and you figure out what it is, and it's not always easy to do so. And once you do figure out, hey, this is what it is, you can't shelter them from it. They do need to realize it's a tough world out there.
It is. And she was there for all the glory moments. She was there for him winning the title. I'm sure that she'll be just fine. And I'm sure Kamaru's fine, I'm sure. I'm sure he's okay with it. And they've had lots of conversations. I bet she was fine once she figured out her dad was okay.
Yeah, no, 100%. As soon as she went backstage and she got to cuddle her daddy, and he's like taking care of her, reassuring her, she would have been totally fine. And I saw him on TMZ, actually. Brian, you were going to say something there. Feel free to jump in, buddy.
The last time Kamaru Usman lost was the year before his daughter was born.
Yeah.
She's never seen him lose.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, of course. I mean, and that sucks, because I remember when I was a kid, I thought my dad was invincible. Do you know what I mean? And of course,
right. Well, it's new territory. It's new territory. Something she's never experienced before.
But life's all about balance. It'll teach a valuable lesson. But I saw a little clip of Kamaru on TMZ saying, "Yeah, he's totally fine." And do you know what? I thought Kamaru handled it with such class. I don't know if you saw the TMZ piece. He just quickly said, "Yeah, they took me back to the hospital." They do that anytime someone gets knocked out. Safety first. Give you a quick scan. Just double check. You don't want to take any chances. Everything was fine. And then he was just going on saying, "What a shot! What a kick! What a shot." And I just thought, you know what? Fair play. No sour grapes. He didn't say, you know what? I had that fight in the bag. I was dominating that man. I'm the better guy. He's going to fucking see. Wait till we have the rematch. There was none of that. There was none of that at all. I just thought he was all class, and it was just so nice to see. And again, goes to show you what a great guy Kamaru Usman is. So he's a credit to the sport of mixed martial arts, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah, he is. And because I can't say I'd be like that. I don't know how I would be. I probably would have punched the TMZ guy. Like, get the fuck away from me.
What the fuck are you doing? I've just been knocked out. They're just taking my belt, and you want me to come in here and do a fucking little interview? Are you out of your fucking mind? Do you know what it's like for us? Do you know what we go through? Fuck you, fucking TMZ. I would have been seen dead.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing no fucking interviews. That's for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so one more time before we move on to the sensational co-main event that took place. Well done, Leon Edwards, on being the second champ to hail from the UK. Quite the achievement. Not as good as being the first. Joke. No, it is amazing. Well done, Leon. So proud of you, buddy. Just insensate. And to do it against Kamaru Usman. Wow.
Crazy.
Wow. Incredible. Crazy. All right, Luke Rockhold. I'll tell you what. Number one, what an amazing fight. And there's so much to talk about, from Luke beforehand, from what he was saying at the press conference, from bitching about the UFC, to the fashion that he had on, to the fight, to the rub in the face, the blood in the face in round 3, to the post-fight interview. Where do you want to start, Mr. Smith?
Well, the clothes sucked, for sure.
I'll be honest. Well, the woolly jumper, Brian, if you can bring it up, that really woolly jumper, the multiple colored one, that was bad. That was bad.
Yes.
But there's a yin and there's a yang. There's a plus and there's a minus. At the weigh-ins or the press conference, and I would never wear it, even though I have lost a few pounds now and I do have half a six-pack going on. the cropped green jacket with no shirt on underneath and the hat. I thought that was kind of cool. I thought it was kind of gangster. I wouldn't wear it, but
No,
he pulled it off. I thought
there's one guy that can wear a suit jacket or an open
We said
shirt with
this,
no shirt underneath.
and he
There's
got
one
knocked
guy that
out
can
of
do
Leon
it.
Edwards.
Is that
And
what
he
you're
just got
talking
knocked
about?
out.
Yeah, that's the jumper.
Yeah.
What do you call that in the UK? We call that a jumper. What do you call it?
Sweater.
Because you're sweating it.
In America, a jumper is like a onesie, like a
romper.
like a romper, like
That's
your pants.
that's
and
what
shirt
we
are
would call
together.
a woolly jumper. Just type into Google, Brian, woolly jumper, and see what it brings up. That's a woolly jumper, bro.
Well, it's fucking ugly. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But he's the fashion guy. I mean, what do I know about fashion? He's the model, so maybe my taste sucks.
Yeah, well. And what is he? What's he bringing up? Sweaters.
Sweaters. You nailed it.
Woolly jumpers, bro. Woolly jumpers. Well, who did he model for? Was it
Ralph
Yves
Lauren?
Saint Laurent? No, Ralph Lauren. I think it was Ralph Lauren. I bet it was fucking expensive, though. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's the thing, though. Just because something's
Did you see what he wore to the fight?
Nice. What?
Did you see what he wore to the fight?
No, I didn't. No,
Brian, I've never had a chance to do this, but Brian, can you look up what Luke Rockhold wore? Can you look up what he wore to the fight? God, I feel special now. That feels cool.
Yeah, Jamie just pulled that up.
Yeah, that's how it feels.
Yeah.
I can't wait till you see it. It's
just describe it while Brian brings it up.
If you were to take a grizzly bear, and then you
fuck, I saw it.
Yeah.
The massive coat.
Yeah, what the fuck? It was hot in Utah too. Like it wasn't cool. Yeah, it wasn't cool there. It was like humid and 85 or 90. I mean, it was warm.
Yeah, that looked like
and leather and black leather pants.
Ski slope chic.
Yeah. And black.
Did he have leather pants on with it?
He had black leather pants on.
No, he did not have leather pants on.
He did, for sure. There's a video of him arriving somewhere. It's fucking.
You're gonna find the arrival video. I need to see the ensemble.
Yeah, it's bad. But anyways, as far as the fight goes, fantastic fight.
Hold on. I'm like, my whole thing on this was to like be super complimentary because he won me over. All we've done for 10 minutes so far is bitch about his fashion choices.
Yeah, and I was just about to give him some props. I think, at least I'm gonna try.
I've got a lot of props to give him, but I'll let you go first.
So I picked Luke to win that fight. In the breakdown, I think Luke is the better fighter. I used something you told me one time, a bunch of times on my shows, that I thought that Luke was maybe victim to some bad circumstances, and I don't necessarily think that maybe his chin was gone. I just said I wasn't quite sold on that yet. Because Yoel Romero's a freak of fucking nature and can knock anybody out at any point in time. Jan Blachowicz has shown since then that he can knock anybody out just like that. And I kept saying, Michael Bisping told me himself that he was swinging for the fucking fences because he knew he couldn't go 5 rounds because he took it short notice. So this wasn't the high-paced, high-volume,
stylistic approach I would normally use.
Right. That you're not throwing hard. So you're not always going to hurt people all the time because it's more high-paced and volume and game plan oriented. So it's like Michael told me himself, he was swinging for the fucking fences. So if he lands a shot, he's a big guy, he's athletic and powerful. Oh yeah, there it is. Look, the slow-mo is so good.
His last ever fight, and we're just breaking a lot. Yeah, I saw this one on Instagram.
Gosh, I'm sorry, Luke. Anyways,
no. I know, we just that's just nice, fun, playful banter.
Yeah,
there's no harm.
I don't think he'd be mad about it. Plus, he probably thinks
I'll
we
be
look
honest.
like shit too.
Listen, there's half of the people watching this thing that looks cool. Well, no, there's not. There's maybe 10 think it's cool as fuck, which might be half of our listeners these days. But just because something's expensive does not mean it's cool. There's a lot of shit in very expensive clothing stores.
For sure. And Luke's got a lot of it. Anyways, so I stuck up for him a lot. I think defensively, he makes some mistakes. But as far as chin being shot and him being done, he's a fantastic grappler. He's great on top. He can wrestle. He's got nasty kicks. He's a big, powerful, explosive, athletic guy. So I stuck up for him. which kind of felt weird. It felt weird, but I have to be honest. Like, whether I like you or don't like you, or we had a beef or don't have a beef, I have to be honest with my analysis, and I truly believe all those things. So then we go into the fight, and it starts going, and I see Luke Rockhold quitting. I can see it. I'm sitting directly behind Joe Rogan. I'm watching him look for the door. He's looking for a way out, and then decided not to take it. And that happened more than twice. Happened more than 3 times, where he decided, I don't want to fucking be here anymore. And on his way to quitting, turned around before he got there and battled his way back into it. Now, personally, Luke and I don't like each other, but I can respect being exhausted, being in a really hard fight with a really heavy hitter, with the guy that's walking you down, and you're so fucking tired, you can't even breathe. You've got your nose splashed all the way across your face. You can barely stand up, but still mustering the ability to battle back and stay in there and kind of give the fans a treat that they didn't deserve, because you should have been finished a long time ago. So I have to give him credit for that. I can't not respect that, because I know how hard that is to do and what kind of mental and emotional turmoil you're going through back and forth. Like especially if you know you're going to retire. Like, you have no reason to be there. You don't need the money. At least he says he doesn't. You're not fighting for a title. You're probably going to lose. You're 37 years old. You're not performing the way you used to. Your body's banged up. You're injured. Why did he decide to stay? I don't know. I would love to ask him. But that's fucking hard to do. And Luke Rockhold, other than the Weidman time, I've always questioned whether Luke had heart or real grit. I've always questioned that. But he showed it. I mean, he showed it.
Without question, he showed it. And just on that point, what you said there, this is why. This is the first time it just occurred to me there, because you're right. When you're fighting and you're tired, and I always emphasize the importance of cardio. But this is the first time he's saying this, and I guess this is the reality of what I'm saying. I've been there in a kickboxing fight where I was exhausted, and Luke was exhausted. And yes, he was at altitude and all the rest of it, but it doesn't take away the fact he was exhausted. He was tired. I used to push myself so hard in training camp because I was scared of feeling like that in a fight. I was terrified of feeling like that in a fight, because when you feel like that in a fight, it's the worst. It's the worst place to be on planet fucking Earth. You're in there with another killer.
Nothing you can do about it.
Nothing you can do. You can barely hold your hands up. You're gasping for breath. All you want to do is lie on the goddamn floor, but you continue to fucking fight. And the strikes that he was throwing were big, powerful, impactful shots. And he's in there against Paulo Costa. He's only lost to 2 people, Israel and Israel and
Vittori.
Marvin Vittori in a sensational fight against Vittori, an absolute classic,
crazy 5-rounder
where both men did a lot of damage. And he stood there and went toe to toe with him, having 3 years away from the octagon, being significantly older, being tired, and made it a fun fight where the crowd was losing their goddamn mind. That has to be respected.
Which is not Luke Rockhold typically. So that's why I have to give him credit for that.
I don't know if it is or it isn't. I'm more inclined to think that it is. I think people are, because
he's never had to. I guess that's the point. He's never had to do that.
He's never had to. You're right. He's never had to, because he's so surgical a lot of the time. When he wins, when he was winning, when he was champion, he was on top of the world. He was surgical. He would take people out there and make it kind of look easy. You know what I mean? He never had to exert himself. He had never had to go to the trenches and really dig deep and summon up this extra energy. You know what I mean? That didn't seem like it was achievable. He didn't have to do that because he was so good and he was so talented. And I think that's what kind of rubbed people up the wrong way, because, people do resonate with the everyman more. That's why Derek Lewis and Tai Tuivasa, they got big bellies on them. People can appreciate that. Those people that have the harder paths, people do resonate with that more, and then they can see themselves in it. A guy like Luke comes in and he's got a chip on his shoulder. He's a little bit arrogant, and he's very, very handsome, and he's tall and he's slender. He's good looking. He's wearing fur coats and leather fucking pants, and he's smoking every cunt. Do you know what I mean? Right. People are like, they're not going to root for that guy, but they did root for him on Saturday night because they liked what they saw. They liked the show of heart, and they liked the realness. And even after the fight with Joe Rogan, he dropped the persona He was just himself, and he spoke
Right.
from the heart. And yeah, he got a little emotional, but why not? I mean,
Right. It
that's
was raw. It was so
it was
raw.
raw, and it was
Like, where was
beautiful to
this
see, in
fucking
my
guy
opinion.
10 years ago? You'd be a
Yeah.
fucking superstar. Like,
Superstar.
I can get behind that guy. Like,
Yeah.
that guy are like, oh, fucking, I'm fucking old. Like, I'm with you. Like, I can get behind that guy. The arrogant one that I've
100%.
argued with, not at all.
That was his most real moment.
I have it pulled up if you want to watch.
Oh yeah, sure, please, yeah, let's take a look.
I've been through so much the last few years. I thank you. Fighting. Thank you, UFC. Thank you, Joe. I fucking can't do this shit anymore. I gave it my all. I just didn't. I'm fucking old. But Luke, I'll tell you what you have. You have
Old.
heart and
Yeah. Hey, and you know what? You listen, because a lot of people don't realize this. It's like I when I commentate, sometimes people say, "Why didn't you interview this guy? Why didn't you interview that guy?" That's all the UFC's call, and it all depends on TV schedules and all the rest of it. And a lot of the time, if it's a super boring fight, they don't get an interview because it's like, nah, we're moving on. That was sucked. We're not highlighting that even more. Generally, unless it's a title fight or the main event, if you lose a fight, you don't get an interview. Do you know what I mean? And Luke definitely was talking shit about the UFC at the press conference in the
I never
interviews,
thought about this.
at the media day. They didn't need to do that. They didn't need to give him that platform. They didn't need to give him that ability there to redeem himself as he was walking through the exit door, which is what he did. And I believe the lasting impression now for a lot of fans, if he never fights again, you never know, maybe he does, but if he never fights again, the lasting impression on Luke Rockhold will be a talented former champion that had a great career, that went out on his fucking shield and was real in his final speech with Joe Rogan. And that's not a bad way to be remembered. But if they never gave him that opportunity to talk, maybe that perception would have been different.
Yeah, I never thought about that after all the shit he was talking about and just dragging the UFC through the mud. They didn't have to give him an opportunity to walk out with his head held high with people cheering. They could have just ushered him out to the back and said, fuck him.
You know what I'm going to say here, and I don't care. But people say it all the time. People say I kissed Dana's ass and I'm a company man and all the rest of it. Obviously a lot of people are, people always want more money, and people get a sour taste in the mouth when it doesn't go their way and they start talking shit and whatnot. Dana, for the most part, obviously he's just turned the other cheek. Do you know what I mean? Because he doesn't take it personally. I don't think. I don't know. I've never had the conversation with him. I'm assuming here, but he's just like, he's got 700 fighters on the fucking roster. Do you know what I mean? You cannot take it personally every time one of them doesn't like the way the business is being run and operated. I thought that was fucking gracious. I thought it was awesome. I'm glad Luke got to say those words. I feel he deserves it given the career that he's had and the fact that he retired. I thought that was a gangster move by everyone involved. Everyone all around, including Luke Rockhold.
Yeah, and I think everybody won. I don't think there's any losers in this at all.
Yeah, great fight. Well, Luke, for what it's worth, mate, it was a pleasure sharing the octagon with you on 2 occasions, and I wish you nothing but success in the future. I'm not sure if Anthony Smith feels the same way, but there it is.
Oh man, I don't wish him anything bad.
No, I know you don't.
Only if him and I would have fought. It was the only time I wish Luke Rockhold bad. We're just different types of people. If I ever had the opportunity, I ran into Luke at an event or at a hotel somewhere, I would welcome the opportunity to have a beer with him and actually maybe have a real conversation with him for the first time ever.
Well, let's talk about this because it involves Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa was talking about how on the morning of the weigh-in, and we all know, anyone that watches the sport, they know, what we go through, the fighters go through when they're making weight. It's a traumatic experience, and I wish it wasn't the standard practice, but that's the way it is. There's no point having that conversation right now. But fucking USADA showed up to his hotel room at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Dick move.
In the middle of a fucking weight cut. And Costa was talking crazy shit, and Dana came out and he was horrified to hear of that and said it'll never happen again, something along those lines, right?
Yeah, I think he said it was never going to happen again to any UFC fighter ever. And I don't understand for a couple reasons here. I don't understand why they would do that. One, you're not going to pee in a cup at 6 a.m. the night before weigh-ins. Definitely not Paulo Costa, because he cuts hard. So you're not getting any pee out of any no one's urinating in a cup at 6 a.m. that's cutting weight in the UFC. It's just not. We don't have it. It's just not in us.
Yep.
And if you're drawing blood,
it's not physically possible.
Right. And if you're drawing blood, it's like, and they need a lot too. It's not like it's a really small amount. So, and if they're drawing blood, when you're that dehydrated and sucked up, your veins are hard to get to anyways. Like even when,
that's a good point. That's a really good point.
When we used to, when they still had before the IVs were banned, it would take me 3 or 4 hours of like Pedialyte and water and Gatorades to get hydrated just enough so that I could get the IV, because it was so I was so sucked up and my veins were so small and hard to get to. They're probably digging in that poor guy's fucking arm for an hour trying to find a vein, especially him because of how hard he cuts. So I think that's the whole deal is an asshole move. But I also don't know. I'm not 100%, so I don't want Jeff Nowitzki to hear this and call me and freak out. But from what I understand, there's only certain hours that they can test, or there's certain hours that they can't test. I think it's like a 7 to 10, like not before 7 a.m. and not after 10 p.m. or something like that. So they have to get special permission to test within those hours. So I don't know why they would have. I don't know if they're looking for something, if someone tipped them off, or they're suspecting. And I don't want to put that out there. I do know that they need special permission to test outside of those hours. So why would they do that to him?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've got a theory. Well, they did it to me when I was cutting weight. Well, so I just weighed in for George St. Pierre, and they did it to me then, and I fucking went crazy. I've told the story, so I won't go over it again. But yeah, I got to my hotel room. I was just like starting the rehydration process, and just onboarded some fluids and stuff like that. And I thought, I'm going to take a nap. I'm dying. I'm so tired. And then fucking knocked on the door. It was USADA. So I said, well, I'm having a fucking nap. You just wait there. And hours later, when I woke up, they were still there. But I would assume for
you
Paulo
made them wait
Costa,
there while you napped.
Oh yeah, I did. And
that's amazing. You know what? You have told me that.
Yeah,
I think one time Aljo,
I flipped. I called him every name under the sun. I did, and then when I woke up on the bed, I was like, "Oh, there's a guy out there." And I went out, and there he was. And he wasn't even sitting in the chair. He was like standing up because he didn't want to make himself too comfortable. And I was like, "Oh my God." I said, "Dude, I'm so sorry, man." I said, "You got me at the worst possible time. I just cut weight. I just almost killed myself. And you showed up to my room to drug test me." I said, "I'm so sorry." And the guy was actually really cool. He's like, "You know what? Compared to like some of the things that have happened to me, it's in the grand scheme of things, it's not even one of the worst. I've had people threaten to shoot me. I've had people pull knives." He said, "Not in the UFC, throughout other sports and stuff like that." He said, "The stories I can tell you." But just on that, I would assume they're looking for something that's maybe going to help Paulo's weight cut. There's stuff that people can take, apparently, that's in and out of your system really, really quick, like 24 hours or whatever, that you might still get some benefit from. So I'm assuming they're looking for something like that. But at some point, you got to say, right, whoa, stop.
Right.
Let them focus on the fight. They have a job to do.
I thought Dana made a good point. It's going to be the same in a couple hours, like likely. The only time I've heard of them testing outside of those like not allowed hours is the only time I've heard of it, and the only reason you would hear about it, I guess, is when they fail. Was Dillashaw. They were like, from what I understand, they were testing him at funky ass times, because during those times is when he was doing whatever he was doing. So I'm not saying that I suspect. Yeah, I'm not saying I suspect Paulo. Like maybe, I mean, like your diet can change your testosterone
it's the
levels.
sniff
So
test
maybe
or the smell test. That's what they call it, or the visual test. You know what I mean? Because they do factor that into the equation, and rightly so. You can look at someone and go, "Wow." And Paulo Costa, obviously, he's never tested positive, if I'm not mistaken.
Never.
Clearly, genetically gifted. And there is just people like that. But I do like the fact that they do look at him and see that he is definitely someone that looks like they might be on it. So therefore, let's ramp up the testing on that individual.
Yeah,
Granted,
let's just double check that guy.
Yeah, let's double check that guy. He looks a little iffy, what I mean? But they shouldn't be showing up.
Look a little juicy today, Mr. Costa.
Oh, juicy. All right. So anyway, so there it is. Of course, stunning 95. There was a lot of other action as well, but apologies to the believers with me making this fucking amazing movie, which is going to be insane. By the way, I never really got to talk about it before. The cast is incredible. The talent on this, the director, the script. I can't wait for you all to see it. And I'm thrilled to be a part of this because always wanted to be a part of, like Game of Thrones type barbarians, fucking monsters and shit like that. Do you know what I mean? So it's cool, man. It's cool.
Do you have the whole script memorized already?
I don't have the whole script memorized, but I have my part memorized. It's not
that's
overly
what I mean, your
dialogue.
part.
Yeah. It's and the way it works is anyway. I mean, obviously you got to familiarize yourself with the script and the storyline and the character and his emotions and all the rest of it. But every day when you show up, you have what's called the sides. And look, listen, I'm not a I'm not a bloody. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm fucking not Leonardo DiCaprio. Let's be honest. Well, yeah, I'm not a thespian. It's always similar kind of roles. So it's not dialogue heavy. You know what I mean? But still, it's still harder than what you think. But every day you get your sides, you look at it, and so it's not too hard. You familiarize yourself, and then learn it the night before or on the day. So it's not too bad. But yeah, it's going to be fucking amazing, man. There's some. I don't want to spoil it, but there's some cool fight scenes. There's some amazing monsters, mythical beasts, and fucking swords. And
I'll watch that one.
Giant axes. That's my weapon. I've got a big fuck off giant axe. It's going to be cool, man. I can't wait for everyone to see it. It's going to be insane. All right, guys, let's talk about Manscaped real quick and talk about the Performance Package 4.0. When you go to manscaped.com, we're going to give you 20% off when you use the code Bisping20. Listen, the Manscaped, it's a revolutionary piece of kit. You all need it as men. You trim downstairs. You know that from now on. We've talked about it forever, but it's safe. The skin safe technology. The Manscaped just gets better and better. They're on the 4.0 and they are offering the Performance Package at a great offer. In the Performance Package, you get the Lawnmower 4.0. You get the ear and nose hair trimmer, the Weed Whacker. You get the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, the Crop Reviver toner. You get the boxer briefs. You get a travel bag to hold them all in. And you get 20% off when you go to manscaped.com and use the code Bisping20. You got funky toenails. You want to take care of them? Try out the Shear 2.0 kit. Stainless steel nail cutters, tweezers, grooming scissors. Take care of your feet. Do it in style and do it at 20% off when you go to manscaped.com and you use the code Bisping20. That is the code you need. That is the website. And realistically, if you're a man and you haven't got a Manscaped in your life, what are you doing? Do you even have a penis? Do you groom your penis? Do you groom your balls? Well, you need to do it with Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com, use the code Bisping20, 20% off. Oh, and free shipping as well. That's a big one. 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com when you use the code Bisping20. We're going to move on from the UFC. Apologies, I didn't see the whole card. It's not often I do that, but this time I didn't. I know there were some great fights. But I did see this one, though. I watched this one Sunday morning, Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk. I don't think you watched it, but you saw the aftermath.
Yeah.
First off, congrats to Alexander Usyk. Incredible performance. I wasn't overly surprised. I thought that was how it was going to go down based upon the first fight. What we're going to talk about, though, real quick, is what happened afterwards. I think, and I've got some understanding and compassion for Anthony Joshua because Anthony as much as the next man. What we go through as fighters and the pressure that's put on yourself and the emotions that go into it, and then to come up short and to lose and the pressures. And Anthony Joshua, I can only imagine, it's better for him or worse for him, depending on how you look at it. He had a bit of a fall from grace after the fight, shall we say. I've been a huge fan of his career, but, he dropped the ball afterwards. Brian, you got the video, right? Oh, yeah, he is the two.
He's coming back into the ring, Anthony Joshua. He took hold of two of the belts, the Ring Magazine and the WBA Super.
God, that Ring Magazine belt's ugly.
Look at that. And then throws him out the ring.
Tosses him.
Yeah. No. To be fair, he redeemed himself a little bit because he got on the microphone and he said some nice words and he got the crowd to go, hip hip, hooray, on behalf of Usyk for winning and all the rest of it. What are you going to say, Bri?
It gets just a little worse in that video. Hold on, I'm sorry, I got cut it off a little.
Yeah, I was going to say, get your shit together, Brian.
Why? You're not strong. How did you beat me? I'm not sure his team understood it. Let's do the skill. Let's do the. I had character. Let's do determination. Listen. Listen. I just want to say.
You little bitch.
How did you beat
bitch.
me? I got skills. It's like, bro, he's got more skills. And that's
right.
a fact.
He's better than you are. I just
don't. Better than him on 2 occasions.
Listen, I'm mad when I lose. Like I'll throw a tantrum in the locker room. I'll fucking kick trash cans. I'll throw shit. I'll lose my mind. I'll cry. Like I was in the ambulance crying like a little bitch with my wife. But like when you're out there in front of people, you're in front of a bunch of people that work regular fucking jobs that paid really good money to come see you. And like he's got his Under Armour sponsorship and makes millions of dollars and multiple time world champion. Like, go fuck off. Like you have all the best things in the world going for you. Like you got beat a couple times. Like he's just good. Like be a man, either fix it, go back to the gym, get better, try to fucking fight your way back to a third one. I don't fucking know, but I don't feel bad for you. Like you're a goddamn millionaire.
Yeah, and he's been on top of the sport of boxing for years and years and years.
A long time.
I don't know what he got paid for that. Probably something like $25-30 million.
Oh, well, I didn't know it was that little.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm guessing that. And he's been on that kind of money. He's been on that kind of money for years and years and years. Do you know what I mean? So,
and money doesn't fix everything. I get it. Losing sucks no matter how rich you are.
Yeah.
But
no, exactly, because that's not important to him. That's not important. The money's not important. It's the legacy. It's the competitiveness. It's the competitor inside him that made him like that. But he was beaten. It was better, you know. Yes, Brian?
He got 13.6 million plus 60% of the pay-per-view.
Fucking hell. Jeez. So that's a lot. That is a lot. Hey, Brian, see if you can find how many pay-per-views it sold, because I am genuinely interested. You probably can't see those numbers just yet. Yeah, I mean, listen, losing sucks, but you got to be graceful. I mean, considering, go on.
I'm sorry, correction. That was for their first fight. For the second fight, he's expected to earn $75 million.
Wow. $75 million. And you know what? This is why, because obviously you get a lot of people out there saying UFC fighters are ripped off, you know, because boxers get paid so much. You know, a lot of these promoters, they lose money on these events. They do. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And again, I'm not sticking up. Yeah, I want all fighters to get paid more money. I do. But a lot of them, they lose fucking money on these if it doesn't go to plan. But still, you know, but as you said, to your point, it's not about the money at this point. He's got money. That's not the goal. The goal isn't to make money. The goal is to be the champ. The goal is to win. But if you get beaten fair and fucking square, and by somebody whose mother country is getting fucking bombed on a daily basis by the Russians right now, you know, you fucking out, man.
Yeah.
Look at what he's going through.
Yeah, perspective. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying be happy that you lost, but you can't throw a fucking tantrum in there like a child.
There's a guy here. He's like one of the runners. And he's from Ukraine. Lovely young fella. Very, very nice man. I was talking to him. And I said, "Oh, you're from Bulgaria?" He said, "No, I'm Ukrainian, actually." I was like, "Oh, shit." I said, "I'm sorry about what's going on out there." And, you know, he got talking and he was like, "Yeah, his dad's there fighting right now on the front lines." And I'm like, how the fuck are you so calm and composed here and getting me my coffee while you're fucking, you know, getting me a coffee and stuff while your fucking dad's there fighting the Russians? It's fucking wild, man. You know? So, yeah, if anyone had cause to lose their composure, it was Alexander Usyk, not Joshua.
Crazy.
Anyway, we'll wrap this one up because it's super late here and I've got to be up early. It is bynpod@gmail.com. Time, if you have questions, that's where you send them in. bynpod@gmail.com. Brian, what do we have this week?
So, first thing, we have this question here from a Mr. Nick G.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Nick G, a loyal believer. What's up? Been watching the show for a long time, so I got a few questions. From Michael Bisping, my boy DJ Mikey B. So what's the set looking like? Are we having some house music, some fucking drum and bass, some hybrid shit? What's going on? Let me know. To the boy Anthony, give us a street fight story if you got anything. It could be whenever you were young or whatever, before you were training, it don't matter. Just give us a story. To the boy Brian, hey, what's up, man? I made some money on that AMC play back in the day. Let me know what is some forums that you follow or anything like that, Wall Street Bets, whatever it is, let me know. And to the boy Harrington, fuck you. Nah, I'm just playing. Much love, man. Love you guys. Peace.
Yo, and to the boy, Nikki G.
Right.
You know,
Nikki G.
I made some money. You know, I'm a lawyer. I got in on that AMC stock nice and fucking early. Yo, Anthony, to the boy Anthony. Tell me a street fight story, bro.
Street fight story. I'll tell one where I lost.
Yeah, they're always better. You don't want to sound like a bully.
Yeah, I got beat up by like a whole...
3 guys up in a bar, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever told this one, but not on here at least. No, that one's kind of long. I'll tell a shorter one.
Yeah.
When I was in like 8th grade, I like had this beef with this one douchebag in school, and I was always trying to fight him because he was mean to me and like kind of racist. And for those of you who don't know, yes, I'm half black. So he was always making racial comments. I always want to fight him, but he'd run inside. So it's after school. I go home, put my rollerblades on because that's the cool fucking thing to do. I'm rollerblading around town, and I go to the school, and he's there. Well, I can't get my rollerblades off fast enough, and that dude beat the shit out of me because I was on rollerblades. So I like tried to get up, and he kept pushing me down. I kept falling over, and he beat my ass. So Manny Rodriguez, fuck you.
Let's fucking get Manny Rodriguez.
Yeah,
have you never seen Dirk Diggler? Have you never seen what's it called? Not Dirk Diggler. What's it called? What's it called? Where Mark Wahlberg plays the porn star.
Yeah, Dirk Diggler.
No, it's not called Dirk Diggler.
No, it's called Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights. You never seen Boogie Nights?
Nope.
Bro.
I know, it's so bad.
It's
a good film.
It's a good film. But anyway, the point of it, in that, there is a porn star called Roller Girl. And Roller Girl rolls around with roller boots on all the time. Mm-hmm. And she uses them to very violent effect at the end of the movie. She stamps on some fucking guy's head over and over and over again. Fucks him up pretty good. Yeah.
You ever see Drive?
No.
Oh, that's a movie you should see.
Jesus Christ. I need to watch a lot of movies. That's what I need to do.
You need to start watching movies. For me, a bit of house, bit of trance, bit of, like a bit of a little bit of drum and bass, a little bit of chasing status. But still, we don't want to hear about that shit. What else we got, Bri? No offense, Nikki G, your boy. Big up yourself.
We got one here from Louis Ingraville.
Oh, what the fuck?
B1 crew, what's going on? Hope you're all doing well, boys. So my question today is for all of you. If you had to choose one UFC fighter to represent UFC in the slap boxing, who would you choose? Me personally, it's got to be Nate Diaz. The fact that if you get knocked out, you can just continue to carry on if you can still stay on your feet. Again, we all know if he has 100-round fights, he's never losing. So, and he does the Stockton slap. Fuck me, come on. No brainer. I'm picking Nate Diaz. Let me know who you guys would pick. Also, Bisping and Mr. Smith, and even the Harrington and Brian behind the scenes. Honestly, this podcast keeps a lot of us going, makes the bad days a lot better. So appreciate it, lads. Keep up the good work.
That means a lot. Thank you so much. And you know what, to be honest, and we're not going to sit here and kiss our own asses, but so I see so many comments like this. You know what I mean? People saying, you don't understand. I've been going through a tough time, and just like, it feels like just hanging out with us two, and obviously Brian and Harrington for 90 minutes, a couple of hours really helps them. So to hear stuff like that, it's beautiful, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, it means a lot to me. It's more so than even like as analysts, we always get the comments on people are like, "Oh, I never thought about that. That's a really smart take," and crediting us for our takes. But I like that comment more so than anything. I think just because honestly, I think we probably feel the same way. Just hanging out with a bunch of people that are kind of faceless, though. For us, you know what I mean? Like I read through the comments and they're fucking hilarious. So I appreciate that.
No, and I do, and you know, like I see some people talk shit sometimes when we're late with the show or whatnot. You're a very, very busy. You're a professional fighter. You're a busy man. I'm busy still trying to pursue a professional career and trying to do anything I can other than get a regular job. Do you know what I mean? So I'm all over the bloody place. But this is a big priority. That's why it's almost midnight here at night. I'm in fucking Bulgaria. I've got to be on set in 5 hours, and we're doing the podcast. But the fact remains, Anthony Smith. Who would you pick on the UFC roster to represent the UFC in slapboxing? I think I've got it already. Don't say Francis Ngannou. It was too obvious.
Okay, I'm going to change mine then.
Oh,
that's who I was going to go with. Because he's got a chin. It was less about his power. He's got a chin.
Yeah, Francis has got a chin.
But if I'm going normal, regular sized person.
Well, mine's not a normal, regular sized dude. And I guess I can't say to you can't have Francis Ngannou when I'm going to pick Derek Lewis.
Oh yeah, that's bullshit.
No, I know. No, you can't have Francis Ngannou.
Yeah,
but I'm picking the next.
I'd go Francis because he's got a great chin. I've never seen him rocked.
You guys are discounting the Samoans here.
I almost went Tai Tuivasa, to be honest with you.
I was like, Mark Hunt's gone, so you got to go with Tai Tuivasa.
Yeah, initially I was going to go Tai.
And bro, not long now till we're both in gay Paris.
Oui.
Cannot wait for this. You know, next week we'll be there in Paris for Tai Tuivasa. I'll go with the Black Beast just simply because he looks like the type of guy that would show up to one of those things.
Yeah, he would do that shit.
The shit out of someone. Do we have one more, Brian?
We sure do. We got one more question. He didn't really leave his whole name. He just kind of left. It says Gibbert. So this is Gibbert.
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 I believe you meet podcast members. Anthony, hope your leg's feeling better. Your suntan is a 10 out of 10. Michael, your arms look absolutely fucking massive. You're definitely juicing. Brian, I was voluptuous. And Harrington, feel like me and you would really get on.
Well, you fucking look like each other. That's why.
I'm playing rugby and I'm looking for a martial art to get into. I don't really fancy getting punched in the face. I'm not sure if kickboxing's the one. But can you give me any decent advice on what martial art to enter into? Cheers, guys.
Right, yeah, no, I was too busy talking shit because he accused me of being on steroids. What did he say?
Why aren't you?
What?
On steroids?
No. Hold on, Brian. I'm like, what was that face?
I was gonna tell you what he asked, but Anthony asked a good question, so I just silently slipped.
Brian came and just went. I'm like, what? What's that? Well, you know, fucking hell, Jesus Christ, on that road, baby. That is because the people just.
But you're not fighting anybody. You're not punching anybody in the face anymore.
No, I am.
If I was you, you'd smell the fucking testosterone coming off of me when I'm retired.
Monsters and demons and dragons and shit in this movie.
Oh, you got a juice to fight monsters.
Fucking right, you do.
Right.
Let's fucking go. I'm going to be twice the size next week. No, go on, Brian. What did he say? So he plays rugby. He wants to start a martial art.
Yeah, and he just doesn't want to get punched in the face. So he's just wondering if you guys have a martial art for him.
I mean, that kind of takes some of your options off the table.
But it's Brazilian jiu-jitsu, though.
Yeah,
mate.
jiu-jitsu for sure.
All day long. All day long. I always say this to Lucas, because like Lucas has a love-hate relationship with the martial arts. You know what I mean? He's not wild about it, but he enjoys it when he's there, you know? And I tell him, listen, you know, I feel it's my responsibility to hand down those skills, even though I'm not teaching him. You know what I mean? You know, I'm sorry. While you're a child under my roof, he doesn't play sports. He's not into sports. I'm not going to force him to be. I wasn't a sporty guy. You know what I mean? But I did martial arts, and I'm glad that I did. And I tell him, and I'm telling this guy here, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. If you can attain or acquire a black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, for the most part, you can go through life very, very comfortable and always be confident in a room, knowing that whatever fucking hits the fan, you're gonna be able to handle that situation for the most part. You know, all right, if Francis Ngannou starts swinging punches, that's a different kettle of fish. But the average man starts, whatever, it will give you a level of confidence and assurance. You know what I mean? Do you agree, Anthony?
Yeah, I totally agree. And if you're just talking about just your overall fitness and your health and feeling good, like that
hobby?
confidence, yeah, it gives you, it's a whole community too. You'll find a whole bunch of people that you probably would never be friends with, that you'll figure out are pretty goddamn cool too. And just the not even the confidence in being able to protect yourself, but just feeling good about yourself when you're learning something new and getting better and you're focused on something. Yeah, jiu-jitsu changed my life.
Yeah. No. You made some great points there as well. And this is another thing to supplement what you're saying there as well. You know, you're going to test yourself and put yourself in new environments. Like Lucas, I started taking him to kickboxing as well from the guy that used to coach me. Gerson Sheila Patrick, one of the founders of Shooter Box, has a great gym called Fight Solutions in Long Beach. And I haven't taken him recently because his wrestling season started and it's on the same nights. But when I'm back, I'll be taking him there again. And when I took him down there, I was so impressed with his attitude. And I'm not blowing smoke up my son's ass, but I'm just explaining to this guy and to anyone else, you know what I mean? It takes a certain level of character, and you have to test yourself when you put yourself into a new environment. It's very daunting to walk into a martial arts dojo or a practice room or whatever you want to call it and start and have your first ever session.
Yeah.
But when you do you realize it's not as bad as what you built it up in your mind. There's beginners there all the fucking time. They're very, very welcoming. You'll make new friends. You'll learn new skills. There is a community. You're going to make friends. You're going to lose a few pounds. You're going to have a great fucking time. And you know what? If it turns out to not be for you, what have you lost? Nothing.
No, I totally agree with all of that. I hope he does. I hope he starts jiu-jitsu and then comes back and lets us know how it goes.
Oh, God, wouldn't that be amazing to see a picture of him there? Harrington with the blue belt. All right. Well, listen, guys, we're going to wrap this one up. Anthony, as always, mate, I appreciate you. Thanks for being flexible. I know you've had a busy day today with the radio show as well. So thank you.
We're good, man. I'm glad we got it.
And apologies. Obviously, I'm out here in Bulgaria. I got some time off, so this won't be a frequent thing. Hopefully, we'll stick to the regular schedule. That's the show. We appreciate you. If you haven't subscribed and rang the bell, do so. There's a lot of you bastards haven't subscribed. The fucking subscribers are going
ring
slow.
The fucking bell.
All right. Anthony, you're the man.
Yeah, have fun, Mike.
You're the man.
Don't work too hard.
And the women. You're men and women. We have a healthy
and the trainees. Well, you are the trainees. If there's any of those out there, we like you too.
Oh, of course. We're men, women, LGBTQ.
We're inclusive.
Whatever you are, whatever you identify.
We love you all.
Whatever the fuck you identify as, still subscribe and ring the bell because they all count. That's the show. Take care. Bye-bye.